Okay, just hit the record button. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so I've been interacting with quite a few of you guys from different groups, and I think it's quite clear that you've come to a knowledge that you guys are going to have to actually purchase the Sage accounting software in order to gain access. I was speaking to one student, and I think it's within this group, and he said as soon as he actually purchased it, he didn't even have to wait for an email. He just waited for, well, he just tried to log in to the Sage University. Where is that? Sage University over here, this side basically, and he used his Varsity College login details or email at least. Okay, so guys, please do make that payment when you can. Okay, and then I'm sure your access will get sorted out all the more sooner. All right.
Sir,
Yeah, bo.
I didn't have to pay, but
Uh-huh.
when I go onto the Sage University login,
Yeah, yeah.
I can't find my transcript like I see like you have there.
Okay, so let me just go back. So, okay, let me go back again. So this is what you see when you've logged in, right? And then when you scroll down, you don't have view my transcript.
No, I do, but I don't. When I push view transcript, it just says
What do you see?
nothing.
Okay, you don't see anything here. So there's nothing where you can
Yeah, I
click to
don't
say
see
open.
open. No.
Yeah. What do you see? There's absolutely nothing.
I don't know how to send a photo, but like it just says transcript Oliver Gold, your transcript provides all access to Sage University training certifications.
Mhm.
Online, we recommend the following pop-up blocker and settings.
Okay. So what I would recommend that you do is next time you're on campus, just quickly have a moment with a friend who seems to have, because you should be seeing this. This is what you should be having. At least this. You might not have the assignment, you might have mock tests and stuff like that, and you will probably also have the manual, but you should at least have this so that you can get the slides and stuff. Okay. So yeah, maybe it's one of those. Maybe you just have to pay for the software before they can actually give you that. But yeah, um, at least you know now that we've set up our profiles, you guys can obviously begin practicing. There's nothing standing in your way because remember, I've given you or provided you with the manuals via classroom resources. Okay. So at least there's nothing standing in your way of practicing. Cool, 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 cool. So today, what I want us to do today is to simply do the banking module. Why the banking module? Okay, Oliver, I think your mic might still be on, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
All right, cool. So now I can kill this. I no longer need this. Let's get rid of that. And we won't be needing a calculator, so that's fine. So what we're doing today is we're doing banking. Banking. This processing lesson, we're actually going to do, we actually are doing it. We do it in the various modules that we do it in, okay? The various modules in terms of when we do banking, when we do customers, when we're doing transactions with customers, when we're creating products, when we're creating supplies and so forth, so forth. Okay, a lot of this is covered in that, but we will go through that at a later point. Okay, but what I want us to do is banking today. Okay, and if we earn early, I'm going to be sending you guys pretty much to go and practice. Okay, it's not for you to just chill. I'll be sending you guys to go and practice. Okay, so let's get into this overview for banking. Okay, all right. You will process account payments and receipts, customer receipts, supplier payments and VAT payments, or refunds using the banking module. You can access this module by selecting banking, transactions, banking. Okay, so let's actually do that. So banking, transactions, and then banking. Where does that take us? Let's see. Okay, I'm in the demo company. Okay, I'm in the demo company. But I think for your purposes, just watch my screen for now. Don't get into anything. Okay, cool. All right. So here we are. This is where that takes us. Banking, transactions, and then banking. Okay. Clicked on that, and this is where we've arrived at. Okay. Now, what else do they want to tell us? Okay. Let me just shift this. Okay. Right. So this is what we are seeing. So that's fine. That's cool. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. Right. So now to understand what's going on in this banking, all right, if we click here, what is this bank or credit card? Okay, what is that all about? Okay, select the bank or credit card account that you want to process in. Okay, so in other words, record transactions, all right, or confirm transactions in. Okay, so here you can see the different options. You have credit card account, investment account, national bank current account, your petty cash account. All your bank accounts you'll see them here in the drop down. Okay, once you've clicked on that bank or credit card. Okay, right, right. Then if we click new transactions, what's going on here? Okay, all your newly imported transactions will appear in this tab. Once you are happy that you have assigned your transactions to the correct account, you can process them. Okay, this will move them to the reviewed transactions tab where they will be considered reviewed. Okay, so what's happening here? Let's take a second to actually dissect this. What's happening here is that your Sage, all right, is connected to your bank account, all right? We've chosen which bank account we want to be busy with at that particular moment in time, right? So now we're seeing the transactions, okay? So here we see municipality, okay? We see the description, lights and water. Now we're saying, okay, this account belongs to electricity. Okay, so we actually do the selection there. And here's the reference. Okay, this reference will naturally pop up. We know this is standard VAT applied. So we have spent. Can you see this is a payment? Okay, so it's spent. If it were an income, like can you see here, interest income? Okay, and this is from National Bank. Okay, probably the people that we bank with. We say interest received. Okay, that's the account it needs to go to. Can you see here, instead of check, because this is check and then 004, this is now receipt 001. And then can you see there, standard rated, okay, interest income. All right, there is no, okay, I'll leave that alone for now. Okay, but here you can see it falls under received. Can you see that? Falls under received because that's money coming in. So spent is money leaving us, received is money coming in. Okay, right, cool. Right, so those are the new transactions. Now reviewed transactions, let's see what that's about. By selecting the actions checkbox to the left of the transaction line, okay, so they're talking about this here, okay, you have the option to review or delete transactions if you select the marked selected as reviewed button. Okay, the selected transactions will be moved from new transactions tab to the reviewed tab, reviewed transactions tab, if you select all as reviewed button, okay, all the transactions will be moved to the reviewed transactions tab. Okay, so can you see this is what they're talking about? So we don't have any transactions here, but can you see mark selected as reviewed? Okay, so basically if I select the respective transaction, then I click here, mark selected as reviewed, it'll then go to this section here, the reviewed. Okay, now if I click that right there, okay, can you see the actions? I'm clicking there. Then I'm saying mark all as reviewed. Okay, that's now if I've marked this right here, because if I click on this and I have several transactions, it's going to select all the transactions that are there. Then mark all as reviewed. All of the transactions that are there will now move to reviewed. Okay, so that's all that they're explaining right there. Okay, cool. So that's reviewed transactions. Now we go to batch edit. Batch edit is basically, can you see there you have all your transactions, okay? All right, so let's go there. Let's see. Let's go back to review new transactions. So do we have batch edit? No, we can't select batch edit because I don't have transactions here. But if I had transactions, all right, and then I'd select which transactions. So let me go back to this page here. I'd select which transactions I actually want to work with. Can you see there's a transaction, or well, maybe it's not, there's no transaction below there, but imagine there was several transactions below there. I've only selected the ones that I want to work with. Then I've clicked on batch, all right? Then what I can do is I can then do an amendment on all of those accounts, okay? After that, in fact, let me say this. Whatever changes I make will apply to all of the accounts at the same time. So for instance, here, if I go to VAT and I say no VAT for all of them, it'll be no VAT. And that's just me changing one of them. Does that make sense? Okay, because it's a batch edit. I'm editing the batch of transactions that I actually selected. Then once I'm done with that, I just click finish. All right. All right. That's why it is. If you select a number of transactions and click batch edit button, they are able to update multiple rows at the same time. That's the whole function of batch edit. Okay, so we've dealt with that. Then import statements. Okay, with import statements, and we'll talk more about this at a later point today, but this is now when we importing. So this, we don't have an automatic feed basically into our Sage in that type of scenario. So we have to import our bank statement into Sage so that we can then have transactions that took place on our bank account. Okay, so that's what we do here. We click on import bank statements. All right, then you select, okay, no, let me not talk to it now because we're going to talk more about it later. Okay. Then shortcut keys, this is not very important for us, okay? But if you're now, because what we're doing here is actually bookkeeping, all right? So if you thoroughly understand and learn what we've just taught through Sage in this module, you should then be able to bookkeep for an actual company. So for those of you who have entrepreneurial ambitions, take this course seriously, and then at least you can actually record the financials to your business. Okay, so Control I, all right, to insert a row below. Control D to delete a current or selected row. So these are shortcuts, like you get on your computer where you say Control C, or should I say, Control C, or if you're an Apple, Command and C. That is to copy. What's this? Transaction. So these are just shortcuts for that. Okay. All right. Then here, I'm just getting a phone call from Simpiwe at VC. I need to put my phone on silent. Sorry. 1 second. I just want to let him know that I'm in a class. Oh, okay. So he's actually calling about the class. So just give me a second. Sorry. Let me actually let me actually quickly pick this up and talk to him. All right, search function. If we're searching for a particular transaction, so here, can you see they're actually searching for electricity? Okay, and then we will continue just now. Hey, brother, how's it?
I'm so sorry.
Okay, guys. So sorry about that whole mix-up. Just some administrative issues. So yeah, basically, I just need to quickly share the link with. Right now, I have group 1 and I have group 3. So I just want to quickly share the link with group 4 and group 2 as well. Okay, so just be patient with me for 2 seconds. At least now you get to see what happens when we actually invite a group. Let me just kill the recording here so